Initiative of North Texas, Dallas Judge Clay Jenkins, Dr. Faith Nibbs of the Forced Migration Upward Mobility Project, Dr. Khalida Yasmin of the Islamic Association of North Texas Charity Clinic, and Ghazwan Abdullah with Seek the Peace and Mosaic Family Services, and an Iraqi refugee. And we have Fadi Maksum, a Syrian refugee. We also have, Jill, Dr. Jill DeTemple from Southern Methodist University, who is our moderator for the panel today. On this lovely Independence Day weekend, we celebrate the birth of our nation. Our refugee neighbors are also celebrating, with gratitude for safety and a chance to rebuild their lives. We celebrate together that our fledgling governors adopted the Declaration of Independence. The second sentence and foundation of the Declaration famously reads, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." The third sentence begins, that to secure these rights. Today we are here to learn about how those in the refugee resettlement and services field work together to secure life and liberty for refugees. Our goal is that you learn about all the major components involved in vetting, accepting for resettlement, acculturating, and serving arriving refugees as they establish a new life, as well as what leads a refugee to our doorstep. It is my personal hope that you will see today what I saw when I began working as a case aid volunteer at Refugee Services of Texas a year and a half ago. The resilience, kindness, gratitude, and hope that I witness when I spend time with our clients compels me to be a stronger advocate and to aspire to the wonderful qualities I have seen in them. Another warrior advocate and great role model I am honored to introduce to you is my co-chair on the planning committee for this event, Linda Evans. Linda founded the committee on refugees and volunteer guide to refugee service agencies in Dallas-Fort Worth in 1998 as a board member of the United Nations Association USA Dallas chapter. She also serves on the Thanksgiving Square Interfaith Council, among other community organizations. As lecturer of English as a second language at my alma mater, Southern Methodist University, Linda developed and teaches advanced courses for international graduate students. As an independent practitioner, she works with international professionals on field-specific communication. Linda and I would like to thank our co-chair, Michelle Lara, and former advocacy intern for International Rescue Committee, Ariel Bailey, who conceived the idea for this panel but could not be here today. Now let's give Linda a big Texas welcome.
So hi everyone, I will add my greetings to that excellent introduction that really needs nothing more. But I would like to add appreciation for this panel and for all of you in the audience. We have people here from everywhere. We have health, education, media, faith leaders, and this is what we wanted to do, is to bring together people from many backgrounds who would like to learn more about refugee issues. And basically what we did is just call up all my friends. So, you know, it's just so easy. I really appreciate that. Now, we're not going to really have time to do individual acknowledgments for so many people who have done so many things. So I just want to make sure that we at least acknowledge for the space, Northwest Community Center and Director Liz Kerfman of Refugee Ministries has opened this as a home for all of us, for refugees in the community, for our meetings. We meet monthly here now for the Dallas Area Refugee Forum. We just had World Refugee Day on June 17th, a little in advance of the 20th. So next year, we want to make sure we get you all back for that. So there are many dignitaries that are here too. And again, to avoid overlooking anyone, I'm only going to mention one that I think we really want you to know, besides our esteemed panel. There is a new Office of Welcoming Communities and Immigrant Affairs. And the director, Liz Cedillo Pereira, is not available. She's traveling this week. but her colleague and immigration policy specialist, Ben Slaughter, is over here. In any capacity with refugee and immigration issues, whether it be your profession or like me, just as a volunteer, this office is going to be instrumental in partnering with many of us, and already has been since they opened. So, I say, normally I would just talk with you, but I have to really stay on track and on time, so I've got my script and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to read. On the back of your program, you will see logos for our sponsors and in-kind donors. That includes exhibitors as well, and names of the planning committee members for this event, and also the committee that originally started the project with Ariel Bailey and many of you who are here. Excuse me, and Tiffany has stepped in on incredibly short notice and used extraordinary talents to pull this together. Okay. So we are grateful. Also, others not listed individually on the program are teams of volunteers from our sponsoring organizations, refugee families, and other sources. By the way, Fadi over there at the end personally put together a lot of the tables out there with many of the other volunteers that we have. We wanted to frame this program from an interfaith and a faith perspective because throughout the past 40 years, refugee resettlement in this area has run beautifully, and mainly because of the assistance of our faith leaders and congregations. They have been an instrumental source of support for refugee resettlement and other services. And IRC was founded in 1975, the International Rescue Committee, and we have others here. So it's really important at this point, since the global refugee crisis, and also because of political influence too, many people are extremely concerned about refugees in ways that are both positive and negative. And in that regard, our faith leaders are uniquely positioned to bring accurate information to their congregations and to the community. So we wish to have you all here as well to get accurate information from this panel, and there are others in the audience who are experts too. We would like you to network with each other. And so take this, what you learn, back to your other organizations. Really help educate people who have concerns about refugees coming into the country where there may not be need for the kinds of concerns that they have. Okay. We reached out in particular to members of Faith Forward Dallas, a broad and diverse coalition of Dallas's faith leaders dedicated to service, hope, and a shared vision for their North Texas community. They united to create and support a community of respect and compassion for all, to heal divisions and enhance mutual understanding. So Rabbi Paley and Reverend Folker are both part of this coalition that is chaired by Reverend Michael Waters, Imam Omar Suleiman, and Rabbi Nancy Kasten, and originally envisioned by Almas Mustaqbala of the Thanksgiving Square Interfaith Council, hiding over there. Yes. Okay. It is also a priority to bring refugee service experts to you as well. Donna Duvin could not be here, the executive director of the International Rescue Committee, and Sahil Gilani from Catholic Charities, an excellent caseworker, stepped right in. He's been doing this as are all of the refugee service agencies, doing a lot of speaking, advocacy, and education in these current times. So Sahil, thank you so very much. Right. So we have also Bill Holston, as you heard, for circumstances of asylum, health issues and services by Dr. Yasmin, employment issues by Dr. Faith Nibbs, local impact and legislation by Judge Clay Jenkins, and community-based organizations represented by Gus Wan. Abdullah, and a most important perspective, the personal stories of former refugees. That includes Baswan and also Fadi Maksum, and his family is all here. So on behalf of the Dallas Refugee Advocacy Network and the Planning Committee, we thank each of these panelists and our moderator, Dr. Gilda Temple of the SMU Department of Religious Studies, for taking time on a holiday weekend to share their expertise. And now I would like to introduce Rabbi Paley, who will then offer a prayer and his commentary. So straight from your bio, sir. Rabbi Andrew Mark Paley is the senior rabbi and spiritual leader of Temple Shalom, a Reformed congregation in Dallas, Texas. Ordained by the Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion in New York in 1995, Rabbi Paley holds a master's degree in Hebrew letters from these institutions and a bachelor's degree in psychology from The Ohio State University, as well as a certificate in marital and premarital counseling. And I will add that he has an advanced degree in humanitarianism. Please welcome Rabbi Paley.
Okay, I'll just sit there. Everyone can hear me okay? Well, to be here today is an honor, and to share with you a faith perspective on the issue of refugees is indeed a blessing, and I hope will resonate across our religious landscape. I think it's important that we make a distinction between refugee and immigrant. As Viet Thanh Nguyen's new book on short stories, The Refugees, reminds us, to be a refugee, especially in our contemporary moment, is to be different than an immigrant. Immigrants are somewhat acceptable to Europe and the US, but refugees are the unwanted from wherever they come from, and they're often unwanted where they come to. And especially in the US, some Americans think it's un-American to be a refugee. So when we see the crisis unfolding in Syria and in other places around the world, where people are in desperate need of safety and security, how do people of faith respond? The response comes in part because of a personal, collective, or historical similar experience. As a Jew, I understand historically what my people as refugees experienced and the call for help that often never came. Fully 36 times the Bible calls upon us to help the widow, the orphan, the poor, and the stranger. Refugees of war-torn Syria, for example, fleeing the violence of religious and tribal warfare, are all of these. As people of faith, we are commanded to help. Jews bear history's imprint of the homeless refugee and have been collective victims of political barbarism. For us not to help is to betray our history and miss a chance to redeem our own suffering. We are to love these people, for we were strangers in the land of Egypt. Maimonides taught that the highest form of charity is to help another find a job, so that one breaks free of needing charity. Maybe even higher than charity, that unshackles another economically, is charity that unshackles another spiritually. Charity that not only meets gripping economic need, but also loosens the grip of hatred and bigotry. Let that be the faith response to the world's refugees. And so we pray to the Holy One of Blessing. There are many in your world today who have been forced from their homes by persecution and violence. Keep them in your constant care and bring them to a place of safety. Be the good shepherd to refugees who are in flight. Guide them to the green pastures of safety. Be the great physician to refugees who are suffering and grant them healing and hope. Be the hiding place to refugees who are languishing in camps. Shelter their souls as well as their bodies. Be the deliverer to refugees who have been unable to return home. Restore their lives so that those who have sown in tears may reap in joy. Be the counselor to them who have been resettled. Help them find their way in the new land. Be the giver of all good gifts to those who serve refugees and empower them to do justice and love mercy and walk humbly with you. Be the Lord of lords to all the earth, that those who rule do so in justice and righteousness, and no one would have to become a refugee anymore. We ask these things in your powerful name. Amen.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Paley. So next, we have someone for you that I think you need to get out tissues, right? Just to be safe, because we all cried as we listened to her rehearse. Performing the national anthem will be Zasha Garcia. Zasha is a graduate of Annette J. Conrad High School in the Vickery Meadow community of Dallas, where she was a member of a very diverse multicultural Conrad Charging Choir, known for their passion for learning and performing musical pieces from all over the globe. Garcia was featured in the Dallas Morning News for her soprano operatic voice and for always taking on the challenges that her director had for her. And I've seen her YouTube videos, and I can tell you this young woman is a star. Please welcome Zasha and rise for the national anthem.